Hello guys, welcome to the 10th session of using Microsoft Board Framework, LUIS and Cognitive Services tutorials for beginners. In this session, we will learn about various attributes of FormFlow. In C#, there are several attributes which are available using which we can customize behavior of a FormFlow dialog. We can change name to be displayed for card as well as display text generated from enumeration too. Also add validation attributes such as optional and number. Currently it supports following attributes. Let us switch to Visual Studio and modify form flow that we have created. For this field, it will display that please enter a number for minimum RAM size. Instead of this, you want to display please enter minimum capacity of RAM. For this, we need to use describe attribute on property. Write description equals to minimum capacity of RAM. In case of processor, if you notice that it shows space between I and 3 in Intel Core i3. But what if you don't want to add space here? We need to use describe attribute. Along with description, we can also add titles and subtitles in case of card. When we use field from enumeration, it will create hero card in background. So it has ability to contain title and subtitles. For example, in laptop brand field, you want to display laptop brand in title and add some text in subtitle of card. Note that we must need to specify description for this attribute. Let us save it and check in emulator. Send hi message. Select any option. Here you can see that this card includes title and subtitle in card, and instead of select brand, it shows select company. Let us write minimum RAM. Here it shows minimum capacity of RAM. And let's send processor. Here in case of i3, it shows text proper as we have used this attribute on just i3. Now we have made all those fields as nullable, but in case of enumeration, it does not show any extra options. Or even when you write 0, it displays invalid value. So we need to use optional attribute in this case. Let us make laptop brand optional. For a numeric value like RAM size, we can also specify minimum and maximum values. For this, use numeric attribute. If your form contains, we can add valuation on it based on regex. For this, I am going to add new property of type string named user mobile number, which will contain user's mobile number. Add pattern attribute. Here is regex for validating Indian mobile number. Let us save it and run the project. Send hi. Select any option. Now you can see that it includes one more option named no preference. We can also press 0 for this. Let's send RAM size. You can see that it generates descriptive message. Let us send 16. It shows that it is invalid option. Enter 8. That is valid as per our attributes. Here mobile number field comes. I am writing any dummy text here. It shows that it is not valid option. Now I am entering 98765 43210, which will be valid as per regex. And we got new question. Using description, we have changed text for just fill. But what if you want to change entered question to be asked to user? For that, we need to use prompt attribute. For example, in case of required touchscreen, it is showing would you like a required touch? Instead of this, you want to display do you prefer touchscreen device? For this, we need to use prompt attribute along with describe attribute. In describe attribute, we need to specify touchscreen devices. By default, it will display requires touch. Then use prompt attribute. We need to specify pattern language for prompt. Write do you prefer? Here we need to add name of field. For this we can write open curly braces, and sign and curly braces end. Add question mark and add options at end. For this we need to write open curly braces, double pipe sign, curly braces end. Now let's save it and run it. Open emulator, create new conversation, send hi, write touchscreen. Here you can see that it generates question as per our prompt and description. When user enter invalid value, that is 16 in RAM size field, now it will display 16 is not a minimum RAM size option. Instead of this, you want to use different message. Now it shows button for each enumeration. Instead of this, you just want to create a simple list. For this, we can use template attribute. First of all, I am going to change template for RAM size. In which we can change various templates. But here I was interested to change only template for not understood and pass pattern language. I am just writing unable to understood. You can write more appropriate message. Now for touchscreen option, it shows two buttons for yes and no. Instead of these buttons, now I am going to display in single line like yes or no. For this, add template for boolean type and specify pattern that we want to use. In choice style parameter, we need to select inline to display all parameter values in single line. Similarly, now add template for operating system. Select enum select 1. Write pattern and select per line choice style. Save file and run it. Open emulator, send hi, write operating system. You can see that it includes all options with order list instead of buttons. Let's send 1. For touchscreen option, it shows yes or no in single line. Send 1. In case of RAM size, write 16. Here we got unable to understood message. Till now for enumeration, we need to either use numeric value as for this enumeration or its full text itself. But what if user can use multiple text for the same enumeration? For example, in case of processor type, user need to write full Intel Core i3. However, some lazy users like me will just type i3. In this case, it shows invalid option. For that situation, we need to use term attribute. Like this, and pass list of other possible values. I'm also use this attribute of AMD. Here we can even pass regex values. Save file and run it. Create new conversation. Write processor. Here we can write just i3 for Intel Core i3 and AMD for AMD Dual Core. Let us write i3 and now use status to check values. You can see that it contains full name. However, we are just write i3. This is because board framework will store enumeration value itself, not attribute or index that use type. Now, let us see what we have learned in this session. By using those attributes, we can customize form flow that we are building. By using describe attribute, we can change field or value to be displayed in form field. We can also set title or subtitle using describe attribute. However, those two are supported for card only. We can use it on property of form as well as on enumeration value. Then we see attributes for validation. Using optional attributes, we can make any field optional. Using numeric attribute, we can specify minimum or maximum value that field can contain. Using pattern, we can set regex pattern for string value. Using prompt, we can change prompt for field. In this, we can pass pattern language. I had attached link to official Microsoft document which contains all valid options for pattern. Using terms, we can specify other values that user can type values. Then we have seen template attribute using which we can change prompt value as well as change text for various templates such as not understood or help. We can also change choice style for enumeration. Note that when we are using template attribute, we must need to pass pattern. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any doubts, please feel free to contact me. Have a nice day.